To give the two of them a chance to talk alone, Natsui told the servants not to tell anyone about Kinzo's death, and they left the room for the time being. Then she invited Kraus to her bedroom and made him tell her everything about the current financial situation. These were things that Natsui hadn't been told about, under the assumption that a woman had no business knowing. Natsui had herself made a point of avoiding this area in the past, thinking that it wasn't a wife's place to intrude on such matters. However, this might also have meant that she had abandoned her duty as a wife to protect the family. The depths of this sin had been made quite clear to Natsui. Kraus was probably tired of trying to defend himself. Perhaps because he had gotten a headache, he hid his face and sank into silence. Natsui noticed that the water in the electric kettle was boiling and stood up to refill her cup of black tea. When she touched the cup of black tea, she noticed for the first time. The sound of the cup and saucer clinking together told her that her fingers were shaking. Kraus had built up a large debt to obtain funds for his various projects, and to cover the losses when they failed. Of course, he had put the mansion and property up as collateral. However, doing such a thing above board would result in a mortgage being registered. In other words, there would be a record that Kraus had put Kinzo's wealth up as collateral to obtain a loan without anyone's permission. Kinzo, Iwa, and the others must not learn of such a thing. Yeah, Kinzo is dead now, so there's at least one person out of the picture. Therefore, Kraus had been putting those assets up as collateral using the worst possible method.
権利書と委任状を預けた。
それはどういう意味ですか?
What Kraus was saying probably meant that he had, in essence, signed away the rights to his assets. If these assets had been used as collateral for a loan, then Kraus would still have some leeway under the law. He would have to deal with a bank, which would have absolutely no compassion, but they would be able to work something out within the rules set by society. However, signing away the deed and power of attorney was a whole different story. In other words, even the mansion they were living in. If the person holding the deed were to decide to ignore his agreement with Kraus and sell the mansion to a third party right this moment, they would have no recourse whatsoever. Far from using collateral for a loan, this was basically the same as selling their house to borrow money.
つまり、後宮家の生殺与奪は金貸したちの手に委ねられていたわけですね。彼らがほんのわずかの気まぐれを起こして突然この家を売り払ったら、私たちは今すぐにも荷物をまとめ出て行かなくてはならないということですね。
理屈上はそうだ。だが取引の相手はいずれも社会的信用のある人物ばかりだ。サラ金じゃないぞ。経済人同士の信用取引だ。私も相手を信用している。相手だって私に金を貸すことで私が大きな事業を成功させ、投資した額が大きくなって帰ってくることを信用している。委任状を預けたのは私の誠意と事業の絶対の成功を疑わないからだ。ここで渋ったらどうなる？自分の事業に自分で自信が持てないことになるだろう。
If you were such a successful businessman, we wouldn't be in debt now, would we? That's savage. Don't say it. Natsui only barely stopped herself from saying that.
お父様は亡くなりました。すると、どうあなたの借金が白日の元となり、他の兄弟たちに咎められることになるわけですか？
それだけでは済まない。多分、刑事訴訟にも及ぶだろう。
刑事訴訟？どうしてですか？
君は知らない方がいい。とにかく、絶対にこのことを誰にも知られてはならんのだ。
Kraus looked at the floor shamefully, shaking his head over and over. If it would come to criminal charges, then he must have broken some laws. He's probably been so intent on raising a large sum of money that nothing had mattered to him but survival. Krause had seriously believed that he would succeed with several businesses and that he would definitely gain huge profits. So, he had figured that even if he stepped over a few legal lines, he would be able to pay everything back before too long and pretend that the whole thing had never happened. This may have been the factor that lessened his resistance towards breaking a couple laws. And now Kinza's death, the worst possible thing, had occurred, and they wouldn't be able to keep it all hidden for long.
私たちはどうなるのだ。
心配することはない。君は信じてくれんな。景気は今確実に上向いているんだ。私が都心で投資した不動産価値はみるみる上昇している。今それらを統合して巨大ビジネスタワーを建設する計画が進んでいる。これは私のこれまでの投資の中で最も確実で最も大きな成功をしているものだ。ただそれは身をつけるのにまだ時間をかける。絶対に確実だが今すぐというわけではないのだ。
その事業の成功は借金を返済するに足りるものですか？
Fuck no, probably not.
もちろんだと思う。
Are you sure?
これまでの借金を全て帳消しにできる。だから信じてくれ。もう少しだけ時間が欲しいんだ。
しかしお父様はもうお亡くなりになってしまいました。もうその時間はないのですよ。
分かっている。分かっているとも。だからどこかから金を調達して今すぐに借金を返さなくてはならない。とにかく金が必要なんだ。金が大量に今すぐ。うわーうわー
As Krause roared and clutched at his head, he writhed about as if in pain. As she watched, several emotions swirled about in Natsui's chest. Her emotions conflicted as she felt pity for her husband, while also feeling that he was a fool. And she felt a mixture of resentment and regret towards her owner's irresponsibility in letting her husband run wild for so long. Even if this day hadn't come, it should have been clear that they were in a very critical situation. And yet he had carelessly waited for this moment to come, and was now writhing about. Her husband was so foolish and so pitiful. It would be easy to let herself get fed up with this. However, she was his wife. For a wife, ridiculing her husband as a fool would run in conflict with her responsibilities. If he was a fool, then she would have to support him enough to compensate. However, she didn't have a clue what she should do. Since there had been such a massive amount of money within arm's reach, it was only natural that Krause had tried to dip his hands into it. It would also be easy to tell him to be a man and give up on all of it. But that would also run in conflict with her responsibilities. She was Ushiromiya Natsui, the woman who had become Krause's wife and sworn to support him, the new head of the Ushiromiya family, for her whole life. She had to somehow help her husband in his efforts to raise money. She understood it logically, but she couldn't suppress the indescribable dejection that seemed to rise up from the dark depths of her heart.
そうだ。親父の隠し黄金。10トンの黄金なら200億の価値がある。あれさえあれば。そうそう。あれさえ見つかれば万事は解決する。夏日、あれだ。魔女の碑文だ。あれを解こう。一緒に解こう。黄金さえ見つかれば万事解決なんだ。そうさ。この島のどこかに隠されてるはずなんだ。あれさえあれば。あれさえあれば。
一体あなたやめてください。
Krause, acting as excited as if he'd thought up a perfect, brilliant plan, grasped Natsui's upper arms tightly. Natsui couldn't help but be dumbfounded. She wasn't just taken aback because she'd heard him bring up something as fake sounding as the hidden gold. This was Krause, who usually mocked the story of the hidden gold, saying that it didn't exist and that it was all an illusion his father had created to borrow a lot of money. That was why Natsui was doubly taken back.
そうだ。ジェシカにも協力してもらおう。子供の感性でなら解けることもあるかもしれない。今は一家の一大事なんだ。みんなで協力し合わなくてはならない。そうだ。 あんなの親父が作った気まぐれな謎なんだ。解けるはずさ。解けないはずがないんだ。それしかないんだ。ああ、夏日、本当によかった。まだ手は残っていたんだよ。こんなに身近に。この島に黄金はある。それさえあれば万事解決なんだ。
I think he's fucking crazy. What do you think?
夏日、ジェシカを呼ぶんだ。今すぐここに。家族の危機は家族で乗り越えよう。さあ早く。黄金はこの島にある。すぐ身近にあるんだ。
Unable to withstand the pain in the arm he was twisting in his excitement, Natsui knocked Cross aside. Cross tripped over the edge of the bed and flopped over onto the floor.
いい加減にしてください。そしてどうか冷静になられてください。後ろ宮家の一大事にそんな夢みたいなことを言い出してどうするというのですか。
夏日、
あなたもよく頭を冷やされて現実的な金策をお考えになってください。私も頭を冷やしてきます。
待ってくれ、夏日。
Maybe he had come to his senses the instant he fell over. Kraus tried to tell Natsui to stop, but she just kept walking. After closing the door forcefully, Natsui dashed away. Natsui ran through the corridor. Even though she didn't want anyone to see her like this, she ran headlong into Genji.
大変失礼いたしました。奥様、お怪我はございませんか？
私は大丈夫です。放っておきなさい。
かしこまりました。
源氏、お父様の書斎はどうなっていますか？
そのままにしております。南條先生は客間におられますが。
そうですか。書斎の鍵は持っていますか？
はい、ございます。
お貸しなさい。しばらく私とお父様の二人きりにするように。もし主人に私のことを聞かれても知らないというのですよ。
かしこまりました。
After grabbing the key to the study that Genji was holding out to her, Natsui rushed up the stairs. She then flew into the study, finally let out a wail, and cried.
お父様、愚かな私たちを、私と主人はお父様の築き上げてきたものを受け継ぐことができます。罪深く愚かな私たちをどうかお許しください。そしてもしお許しいただけるならば、どうか愚かな私たちをお導きください。
Clinging to Kinzo as he slept in the bed, Natsui cried even harder. As you can hear, she kept imagining Kinzo sitting up suddenly and patting her head. That's fucking creepy. No, father isn't the type of person to pamper. More likely, he'd yell at me to stop being so noisy. However, neither of these imaginations came true. Because it was an undeniable fact that Kinzo had entered an eternal sleep. But even so, Natsui begged the sleeping Kinzo to forgive and help them. It was still only a few hours after his passing. Perhaps his soul was still here, listening to her. Believing this, Natsui begged for Kinzo's forgiveness and help even more earnestly.
やかましいぞ。私は沈黙を尊ぶといつも言っている。
That voice made Natsui jump up in surprise. It's Ghost Kinzo, everyone. Yay! When she faced in the direction that the voice had come from, she saw Kinzo sitting at a study desk folding up his reading glasses.
またクラウスと喧嘩をしたのか。嫁をいたわらぬとはクラウスに私の悪いところばかりを受け継ぎよる。
お父様。
なんというみそぼらしい顔か。顔を洗え。仮にも後宮家次期当主の妻ではないか。そんな情けない面を使用人に見せてはならぬぞ。
はい、お父様。失礼しました。
Natsui understood. This was just an illusion, one that Natsui had created out of her desire to speak with a memory of Kinzo as he once was. No, that wasn't it. She believed that just for now, Kinzo's soul had shown itself to her. She was sure that doubting this would cause it to vanish in an instant.
当主の座が継承されたと同時に早速厄介事が起きたようだな。
はい、お父様。夫を支えることができませんでした。本当に申し訳ありません。
つくづく後宮家は呪われている。私が当主を継承した時もそれはひどいものだった。お前たちの苦難などまだまだ可愛いものだ。
Kinzo's succession to the family headship had come suddenly. At the time he had been nothing more than a single young man from a branch family, far separated from the Ushiromiya main family. The main family might have had honor and tradition, but Kinzo had nothing to do with that. Then, the principal members of the main family were wiped out in the Great Kanto earthquake, along with their businesses. On top of that, there had been a complicated antagonist between the members of the family at the time, and the elders had all tried to impose their will on the others in that sinking ship. Because of this, they weren't even able to elect a leader to revive the Ushiromiya family. They then found a common ground and selected Kinzo, a youth with absolutely no ties to any of the opposing elders, to be the head. So the elders hadn't really entrusted Kinzo with the rebuilding of the Ushiromiya family. Kinzo had been nothing more than their puppet, with his arms and legs pulled in opposite directions.
はい、お父様の苦難の日々はよく存じております。
そして戦争が始まった。当時の私はもう生きていくことに疲れ果てていた。戦場で死ねればと願ったが、前線には送られなかった。しかし日に日に戦況が悪化し、本土決戦の時が近づいてきていた。私は不謹慎にもその日が早くやってくることを願っていた。
After listening to the approaching footsteps of that Reaper day in and day out, it is said that Kinzo started cutting his ties with this world one by one. And then, on that day when he had severed all its regrets, when he had reached a state of enlightenment, it is said that he had a mystical experience. It is said that he met her, the Golden Witch, Beatrice.
私は魔女と契約を交わし、黄金と狂気の力を与えられた。その日を境に、古き私は死に、狂気の魔力を得た新しき私が誕生したのだ。
存じております。そして戦後、お父様は天才的辣腕にて後宮家を復興させるのです。
The now deceased elders who knew Kinzo at the time had whispered to each other that Kinzo must have bumped his head on the battlefield and returned with a different personality. That was how much Kinzo had stood out after the war. Whether the story about Kinzo meeting a witch was true or not, there could be no doubt that the extraordinary experience of war had prepared him for death and let him reach a state of enlightenment. If he wanted to describe the mystical experience following all that as a meeting with a witch, that claim certainly shouldn't be dismissed out of hand.
そうですね。お父様は戦争からお帰りになり、魔女ベアトリーチェを従え、 真の意味での後宮家当主となられたのです。
そうだ、ベアトリーチェに出会う以前の私は当主と呼ばれるだけの人形に過ぎん。私は黄金の魔女を従えて初めて当主たり得たのだ。
お父様、その黄金の魔女は新しき当主である夫クラウスには力を貸してくださらないのでしょうか。
貸すであろうな。真に当主を継承したならば。
真に継承するとはどういう意味ですか。
真の意味で後宮家の当主としての責任と誇りを持てるかどうかということだ。夏日、お前ならば分かっているはず。当主とは血で継承されるものではない。魂と信念によって継承されるのだ。クラウスが我が長男であっても、それがなくては真の当主とは呼べない。そしてそれが心に宿されていたなら、その人間はたとえクラウスでなくとも立派な新しき当主である。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェはその真の当主に力を貸すであろう。そうであるな、ベアトリーチェ。
When Kinsu called the witch's name, gold butterflies seethed out of every corner of the room. This fantastical scene had an otherworldly beauty to it. It was like standing in the midst of a blizzard of golden flower petals being blown about a rose garden of gold. As Natsui stared at this scene in shock, the gold butterflies gathered and formed a human shape. Then, the witch of the portrait appeared.
いかにも、わらわこそが後宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェである。わらわは奔放にして自由。誰の命令も聞かぬ。
それを世界でたった一人、私だけが支配したからこそ後宮家の当主たり得るのだ。
その傲慢さこそが後宮家当主の資格だというか。
傲慢とはすなわち自信であり勇気である。そしてそれに見合う力を得ようとする飽くなき向上心の表れである。だからこそ私はお前を支配した。
傲慢を語る男がそれを実現していく様を見るのは心地よいものだ。不言実行は強運なる者の言い訳に過ぎぬ。真の王者は持たぬ者さえも語る。そしてその傲慢を確かに実現してみせるのだ。わらわを支配できる者にはその王者の傲慢が必要だ。
わかるか、夏日よ。真の王者はあらゆる苦難を恐れぬ。必ず乗り越えられると公言する。その算段がなくともだ。だから弱者は希望を持つ。集い、あがめ、協力を誓う。そこに力が生まれ、有言は実行されるのだ。それを心に刻め。
はい、お父様。
Natsui understood. Through this mythical experience, Kinsu was telling her how to prepare herself to overcome hardship, even after his own death. Feeling a warm sensation rise up in her chest, she let the valuable words Kinsu had given her echo through her mind over and over. A true monarch, in other words the true head of the Ushiromi family, must not fear hardship. Such a person must believe they can overcome any hardship, If they can't even believe it about themselves, then they'll have no chance of overcoming their challenges. She suddenly felt very ashamed of the way she'd entered this room, sobbing and asking Kinzo what to do.
私は愚かでした。後ろ宮家の一大事に泣き言を言う暇などあるわけもありません。そしてお父様から後宮家を引き継いだ以上、私たちは何があってもその名誉を守り抜きます。
ほう、どうやってクラウスの借金を返済するか、その青写真も描けぬのにか。
Beatrice laughed unpleasantly. No, that wasn't it. She was testing Natsui to see whether she possessed the mental readiness to be a true monarch. Natsui wasn't confused anymore. She answered clearly, gazing into Beatrice's eyes.
はい。今はどうすればいいのか、その方法をまだ見つけることはできません。しかし、私の夫は新しき後宮家の当主であり、ですから、夫に代わり、私が宣言します。
聞こ
う。後宮クラウスと夏日は、必ずやこの苦難を乗り越え、後宮家の名誉を守ってみせます。お父様にご心配をおかけすることはありません。
クラウスの借金の規模と惨憺たる状況については知っておるな。
はい。この屋敷さえも明日には立ち退けと命じられても拒めぬという最悪の状況です。遺産分配となれば親族たちに刑事告発さえされるかもしれません。しかし心配には及びません。そうなる前に借金をすべて返済し名誉を取り戻します。
As she stood at attention with a resolute attitude, Natsui proclaimed this clearly with Ushiromiya Kinzo and Beatrice as witnesses. For a while, they remained silent, as though weighing Natsui's resolve. Then Kinzo chuckled and turned away.
おし、なぜにこやつが我が息子ではなかったのか。
その資質を持つ女を息子がめとったことさえ、これもまたそなたの強運よ。
ベアトリーチ、私の最後の命令だ。
当主でないそなたの命令をもはや聞く義理はないぞ。
ほう、ならば新しき後宮家当主の命令に従え。
そなたはすでに当主でなく、クラウスは未だ当主ではない。わらわは誰に仕えよというのか。
お前にそれを委ねる。後宮家の当主を受け継ぐ資格があるかどうか、そして片翼のわしの紋章を背負うにふさわしいかどうか、お前が確かめるのだ。
断るぞ。当主でなき男の命令など聞けぬわ。
いや違うぞ。これは遺言である。当主が残したお前への最後の命令である。
ならば従わぬわけにはいかぬか。わらわもつくづく付き合いがよい。
違うな。
ほう、
興味を持ったからであろうが。
つくづくそなたには隠し事ができんな。
夏日。
はい、お父様。
乗り越えてみよ、この苦難を。
はい。
That might have seemed like a mere response to Natsui, but to Kinzo and Beatrice it seemed to be something of much greater significance. Beatrice nodded deeply, and with emotion as elegant as a dress, she bowed deeply before Natsui.
後宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ、ここに後宮家の苦難を再び乗り越えるため、そなたの力となろうぞ。
ありがとう。あなたの力が必要です。 私たちは必ずこの苦難を乗り越えます。
そのために助力は惜しまぬが、先に断らねばならぬ。かつて金蔵の窮地を救ったように、そなたに再び莫大な黄金を与えれば、この度の苦難は解決することは分かっている。しかしそれはできぬのだ。
そうですか。
すまんな、夏日。ベアトリーチェの黄金は私一代限りという契約なのだ。そしてそれを受け継ぐためには魔女の碑文を解かねばならぬのが取り決め。
黄金は碑文にて封じられている。だからそれを解けぬ限り、そなたに黄金の魔法は与えられぬ。
わかりました。ならば他の方法でこの窮地を脱する方法を模索しましょう。主人は時間をかけるとは言っていますが、必ず借金は返済できると言っています。そのための時間を得ることができれば、この苦難は乗り越えられます。
よいぞ、夏日。続けよ。
しかし金蔵はもう死んでいるぞ。医者と使用人は葬儀の準備。そなたは親族たちにその連絡だ。そなたは自らその金策の猶予時間を終わらせる宣言をすることになる。自ら刃を下ろす断頭台も愉快なものよ。
Startled, Natsui looked up at the ceiling. There wasn't actually anything there. But even so, Natsui had found something.
降りたか、魔力が。
夏日、決まったか。わらわに望む奇跡の魔法が。